Hi, my name is Maddie Backus, and I'm one of the Math PLP teachers here at Liberty North. I've made this video to help parents really understand what our program called Math PLP is all about. I'm going to take you through just a quick run-through of what this class is about, what it involves, and what your student will be doing in it. First of all, our course is called Math PLP. This is an on-demand, student-driven mastery class. It covers Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. The motivation for this course is we saw students who were struggling and having to move on before they really understood the math and not doing very well in regular math classes. We also saw advanced students who were kind of being held back from their potential, not being able to move as quickly as they could. We also wanted students to master each concept as they moved through and not just kind of understand it. When it comes down to it, the idea of PLP is really just a one-room schoolhouse. It's a bunch of students in one classroom on different paces in their learning at different spots, all working together to complete a course. So here's a little overview of what your student would do as they move through each unit in Math PLP. The first thing your student would do is they would take notes over a certain concept in their notes packet. We have already made videos over every concept that we've put out on YouTube that your student would access to get the idea of the concept down on paper. The next thing they would do is they would meet with one of their teachers in what we call a teacher talk. So this is where we really check for understanding. We see if they have any questions on the notes that we can help them with. The next thing they would do is they would work on their math practice. So we have practice for every concept. They'll be seated at a table with peers and are able to work together and collaborate at this step. Next, they'll take a quiz over the concept. Every concept has a quiz, and the students must score at least a 70% or higher in order to move on to the next concept. After they do that for every concept in the unit, which is usually 3 to 5 concepts, they'll then take a unit exam, which they also have to score a 70% or higher on. If a student doesn't score a 70 or higher on a quiz or a test, we have intervention assignments, or we have them correct their tests and then retake those assessments. This is really a good place where we can catch what students don't understand and make sure that they understand it before they move on to the next concept. Math builds on itself, so this is a really important part of our program. This is our flexible space at Liberty North that we use for our PLP classroom. We divvy the room into 2 sides. Each side has a teacher assigned to it, and we have a testing area that has a manager assigned to it who takes care of all of the assessments. Here's some supportive data of the PLP program. The Algebra 1 EOC is the end-of-course exam given to all Algebra 1 students by the state. In this table, you can see that in the past few years, our average score for the PLP classes has been higher than that of all the students at our school. So we're really seeing some good improvements on the EOC, and we think that this is attributed to the fact that students are having to master each concept before they move on, and they leave our classroom really understanding what they're doing. Here are some of the benefits of Math PLP. It allows flexible pacing, so students don't have to move at a traditional year-long pace. Maybe they needed to go a little bit slower to fully understand, or maybe they're capable of going faster and getting through Algebra 1 or Geometry at a quicker pace. Students have ownership in their own learning. They're the one who's driving forward with their learning. They're looking at their quiz grade, deciding whether or not they should retake it, and really putting a lot of ownership into this. The course requires mastery, which means every student is going to understand the concept before they move forward on to the next one. Also, students just build life skills in this class, like managing their time and kind of planning out their own day, and they're the ones that know what they need to work on, not being told what they need to work on each day. So who is Math PLP for? First of all, Math PLP covers Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Any freshman coming in can come into Algebra 1 PLP, or if they're ready for Geometry, they can go into Geometry PLP. A misconception we've heard is that PLP is for struggling students or advanced students, but really it's for all students. Students who struggle are given extra time to understand the material. They're actually required to master it, so they're going to remember it better later on. While students who are advanced are able to move at a faster pace. They don't have to wait for the class to get caught up to where they are. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me. I'm happy to answer them. I want you to make sure that you are getting your student put in the correct class for them and would love to answer any further questions that you have.